Okay, hey everyone. Before we get started here, if you guys can do me a huge favor, and in the chat section, if you could put like where you're from, what profession you are, and just kind of any questions you have, or where you're at in this stage, so we kind of know who we have in our group. That would be awesome. When you do reply in the chat section, if you could make sure that it says to everyone, otherwise only the panelists get to see, and we love it when everyone kind of knows who is in here. So those of you that are watching live on Facebook, go ahead and just put live and put the same thing in the comment section on Facebook. And I'm waiting for Sue. Sue, if once you're here, Sue, let me know so I can promote you to panelist. So, hey, Jody, glad you could get on. Hey, Christine from Charleston, haven't talked to you forever. Hope you are doing okay. Two Judys right next to each other. Doreen, good, we got a mix so far. PTs, COTA, PTAs, COTA. Ooh, another South Carolina speech pathologist, OTA, PT, awesome. Keep rolling that in, you guys, so we have a good idea of who you all are. That's awesome. And I'm going to peek to see if Sue is on yet. Nope, don't see her. Okay, so before I hand it over to Gail, I just want to make sure, because we had tons of people reaching out for this webinar that I haven't had a chance of meeting before. So just in case you don't know who I am, my name is Kara Welke. I am an occupational therapist, been one for 20 some years, and I have my own mobile practice where I see older adults in the home, primarily Medicare Part B. I do cash-based, and I bill out of network and all that kind of jazz as well. And oh, there's Sue, yay. And yeah, I also have the Next Level Occupational Therapy platform where we are live streaming this too. So of course, most of you on there know me. But one thing that we started back in May was our home modification business builder program, which is primarily led by Sue, who is on here. So if you guys don't know Sue, you need to know Sue. She's like the expert in like everything, I feel. Yes, you are. And she has put together an amazing home modification business builder program. And a lot of the people in our program already have their CAPS certification, or they're wanting to look at get some of the different certifications. So that's why we're super excited to have Gail here, because we want to make sure that everyone in our world knows the different certification programs and what it entailed. But also we want everyone in our home mod program to know all the different certifications and why you would want one or the other. And I think it's cool, and Gail's going to educate us more. She also does universal design training on top of the CAPS training. So she'll talk more about that. But just before I let Gail go, I'm going to show you a little bit about what Sue has put together here. So hopefully you can see this. So our home modification practice, it's a business builder utilizing a hybrid approach, because again, we believe that we need to kind of take the best of all worlds, right? So with older adults, if our services we are providing are skilled and medically necessary, we need to be billing Medicare Part B. But there's lots of times when we could do private pay cash, out of network. Sue does a lot with a variety of different things, workman's comp, all that kind of stuff, which she can talk about later. So we try to encompass it all. So, so far we have 63 different training topics within our program, and it's broken down into setting up your business, and we're always adding, but we have all of these different trainings in all of these different areas. So we cover setting up your business, marketing your business. Then we go into running your hybrid practice. And Sue has done some really neat stuff on, what you need to do before your first visit, during your first visit, after your first visit. Anthony Maritato is part of our program with his Medicare training. We have all the stuff on documentation and billing in there. We just added a new one, so we're always adding new ones, so that's why that one's black. Let's see, payment and funding. Again, going into some different options in the payment and funding. Introduction to some specific population approaches. I'm really excited for these. This is something that we've added to our second cohort, and going into a variety of different populations. And then we have bonus trainings as well. One that I was really excited about that we added, and I don't know what section we put it, but I've actually gotten to go out and spend some time with architect and builder here locally, so we can take videos and look at the process of homes being built and learn what everything is. I learned a lot when I was out there. I'm pretty clueless in that round. So trying to give everyone a well-rounded view of all of that. So, and then we will be adding, all of the information on all of these different programs to that as well. So that's a little about me and the program. Sue, do you want to mention anything first before we let Gail get going? Because I know you have to bug out a little early, so.
Yes, I have to go do a wheelchair assessment, and it looks like some home mods assessment for this client as well. So I'm just super excited, Gail, that you're joining us. We have so many questions about CAPS, and that's great that you're here. I also want to let people know we get questions about other certifications as well, and Corey Staver from the Paul Davis Company is also coming November 30th to do a training for us on the CHAMPS, which is the Certified Home Accessibility and Modification Professional certification, and that's focused on workers' comp. So super excited as we're bringing all of these experts in to share with us their knowledge. So Gail, thank you so much.
Sue, quick question. You've arranged for ECHM for them to come in too, right?
Yes, I can't remember the date. Let me check. I
think it's in December, but we have CLIP coming in, ECHM coming in, the CHAMPS, but then we have the
Age Safe America.
Age Safe America. I can't even remember all these different ones. So we're bringing all of those people in. Plus, one thing I'm super excited about in December, we actually have a panel of occupational therapists who have done one or more of all of these certifications. So you can hear at one time therapist perspectives who have been through these different programs. And I know, Gail, I was looking, you've done ECHM too, right? So you'll find that people have more than one certification. So it'll be nice to learn from all of these different professionals. So, okay, awesome. I will officially be quiet. Gail, thank you so much for being here. And I would love if you tell even more about your business, because I was reading all about your business and about all you've done, and it's really impressive. I'm super happy to have you here.
Thank you, Kara. Gail Stocks, my company is Easy Way to Stay, accessibility consulting for home modifications. And I work, my day job is really working in a school for children primarily on the autism spectrum, but a number of years ago, I started this business also on the side, seeing the direction that occupational therapy could make such an impact in home modification. So I started doing that, and I got different certificates, the executive certificate in home modification, which is incredibly worthwhile. And I'm glad you're going to be hearing more about that. I got the CAPS designation. So then which is wonderful. And I was so happy to have that. And then I became a CAPS instructor a little while later. And I also do guest lectures for universities, for OT programs in universities. I volunteer with Rebuilding Together North Jersey, which I highly also recommend getting involved with. Some kind of organization like that. It's such a great way to learn more from so many other professionals, as well as get an opportunity to try out things that you know in a way that you're giving back to the community, which is so important for us. So that's about me. As far as the CAPS designation, mostly I just want to take your questions about it, but I'm going to start off just saying I found it was really worthwhile. It was referred, somebody referred me to that, explaining what it was about a while back, and I was so glad that I did it. It was originally designed, it is from the National Association of Home Builders, which is a hugely credible organization that has a lot of, so many members nationally. It's a big powerhouse behind you. So that was what appealed to me about it to begin with, was just being part of such a bigger organization. I'm part of AOTA, that's a wonderful organization, but this is just something separate that also works with that in so many ways also. So it was developed, the CAPS program, through AARP, American Association of Retired People, along with the National Association of Home Builders a number of years ago. And it's been growing exponentially ever since then. It's individuals who get the CAPS designation, they're trained in the needs of the aging population. You learn about common remodeling projects and expenditures. You learn about codes and standards, product ideas, resources. It's stuff that you're going to learn from probably any of the other courses that you get as well. So I feel like what you need to know about this is that it's open to anybody. It's open to remodelers, designers, OTs, architects, PTs. I've had in my courses geriatric case managers, realtors who specialize in aging in place. So it really is open to anybody, which is wonderful. You don't really have to have much of a background in anything. The information is just really good out of the gate information, as well as information that you could really develop more knowledge about home remodeling from that as well. The focus is specifically on customer service. There's some technical information, business information, management training, all of that is involved. So you get a little bit of everything. And what I really like about it is it's a lot of bang for the buck. It's a 3-day course. I mean, the other courses are wonderful. I'm not saying anything not wonderful about them. But this course, you know, in this day and age when we're all so busy and overwhelmed with so much to do, it's just wonderful to be able to earn this designation in 3 days. So what it is just each course stands by itself. You could just take one course and just take that exam at the end of the day, and that could be it. Or if you take all 3 of them, you take a test at the end of each day, and then after the 3 courses are done, you just fill out an application and pay a fee to National Association of Home Builders, and you will earn your designation as a CAPS designee. So the courses are, CAPS 1 is called Marketing and Communicating with the Aging in Place Client, and that involves knowledge and tools to effectively market yourself as well as your business's services in the aging in place market. CAPS 2 is Design Concepts for Livable Homes and the Aging in Place population, and that'll help you identify common challenges within the home and understand attractive design solutions that create safe and comfortable environment for your clients who want to age in place, as well as identify with any of these groups, ones without urgent needs, ones with progressive conditions, as well as abrupt traumatic related changes. And then CAPS 3, which is Details and Solutions for Livable Homes and Aging in Place, and that just further looks into any kind of design solutions. You'll learn more about how to solve the problems through case studies for different clients. And then additionally, as Kara said, I also teach the Universal Design Essentials course, which is totally separate from this, but it can be used. It's through the National Association of Home Builders, and it can be used towards maintaining your CAPS designation. So each one of these courses is a 6-hour course, and you get 6 CUs from National Association of Home Builders. I'm going to be upfront about it. It had always been getting 6 CEUs from AOTA. It's approved through AOTA for the live in-class courses. So that's what I got. That's what everybody got up until this past March. And then it went virtual. We're doing a tremendous amount of trainings virtual, but still working with AOTA to get approval for that to count towards CEUs. But that said, it's still counting towards, you could look towards things within BCOT and whatever in terms of just, it is continuing education, just not at this time AOTA recognized for the virtual classroom. So once you've taken the 3 courses and you've passed the test at the end of each day, and then you fill out your paperwork and you submit it and you pay your fee. So each course you're going to pay individually for, and then to the person who's teaching it, be me. And then you pay an $110 fee to the National Association of Home Builders to get your designation. You get your certificate for that through them. And, it's essentially good forever, but you do need to keep up with continuing education. So every year you're going to renew that for $83 through NAHB. And every 3 years, you have to have had 12 continuing education units. So they have a description of what kind of things would be included in that. And the Universal Design Essentials course, which used to be a 2-day course, now it's a 1-day course, that counts as 6 credits towards it. And that's really the only one that NAHB gives that is relevant to that. But there are so many other things you could do. You could do volunteer work, you could do some teaching on your own. You could go to seminars, you could do, you could teach, you could do, take other courses through other organizations. So that could all count towards the 12 credits in the 3 years that you need to keep your designation going. And the benefits that I have found mostly for being a part of this organization really has to do with the marketing. And I think that's what gives it the edge over the other trainings that there are out there. I think executive certificate in home modification, very, very valuable. It took longer to do. There was more of a time commitment. And this really is more of a marketing benefits to you. So you're part of a bigger organization, you're part of a National Association of Home Builders. You're not actually a member unless you join that, but you're on their website. You're listed. If anybody's ever looking for a CAPS professional, you're listed on there. That's the go-to. That's where people go. This is what they've heard of. This is what builders have heard of. If a builder goes to a client's home and they're looking for somebody who's a CAPS designee and that builder is not a CAPS designee, they're going to go online and look for, that's the source they're going to go to find a CAPS designee. They're not going to go Google who does home modifications in Montclair, New Jersey. They're going to go to the CAPS site in the National Association of Home Builders, the professional directory. They're going to look in Montclair. They're going to say that they want somebody who's a CAPS designee, and your name is going to pop up. Well, my name's going to pop up technically. Melinda's will pop up in Butler, and Mary Lynn's in Denton, Texas. So this is the way builders are going to find it. This is the way clients find you. I've had clients who've called me, and that's all they knew. I had one that was lived in a different state, but her mother lived in my state, and she had no idea how to begin to look for somebody who could do home modifications. And somebody had told her to look to the National Association of Home Builders. And that's what she did. So she just went to that directory, and she saw me, she liked my background and my profile, and I was the one that she called. So it really is just a wonderful way to market and have all of the credibility of the National Association of Home Builders. If an architect hears that you're a part of that, it's something that is impressive to them. If you're talking about referrals, getting businesses through other people within the industry, this is the credential that has legs. It has credibility. So many of these other ones, they're wonderful, but people outside our industry, people outside of OTs, people outside of just specifically working in home modifications directly are not really going to be familiar with them. So this is one that they are. And then you could have other credentials also that you've learned from and have helped create the person that you are, business person that you are. But really having this helps with that. So also the National Association of Home Builders, once you get your credentials, they have marketing tools online that help you. I've had somebody there who's worked with me to help me get my brochure, help me get my flyers. They have PowerPoint that you could use. It has all of their information on it, but you could personalize it and make it your own. You could get you're allowed to do whatever you want with all that material. If you are just starting out and you have no pictures of any work that you've done, then you use their pictures until you get your own pictures, and it's all part of what they're offering you. And again, having that flyer, going to a tabling event, going to an aging seminar and be able to have my flyer and say on it, National Association of Home Builders. It really gives you a lot of credibility. People who don't know anything about the field, but just know that they want their parent, their child, their family member to have some home modifications. It just gives you that credibility. So the marketing tools have been wonderful. You could use their logo on anything and people recognize it. So you have your business card, you have the logo on it. You could have banner ads. They have public relations, resource information available, press release samples, how to promote yourself. Again, so much of this, it's just marketing, but it's marketing with an organization behind you that people have heard of, that people respect, that people really are pleased to see that the person they're hiring is a part of. So I think that's really about all I have to say. I'm currently teaching the course. I've been teaching it virtually since they allowed it to be taught virtually, which was this summer. I've been getting a tremendous response from people across the country. Teaching each of these as one-day courses, as well as the Universal Design Essentials course. I only have a few more that I'm still teaching till the end of this year. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue with it. I'm happy doing it. It's just a time commitment. I'm sure everybody understands those kind of things. We're not sure what National Association of Home Builders is doing in terms of keeping it virtual or going back into the classroom. They've been taking it short periods of time at a time. So I had actually presented to them last fall a proposal to start doing virtual courses, because I was finding that people in New Jersey were really very saturated with having this designation, but there were people in the Midwest that were not, and people down south that were not. And I really wanted to try to get to them. And at that time, National was like, no, we're not ready for that. We'll let you know if we think about it. And then I got a call in March, and they were like, we're really thinking about it now. So I was happy to jump on board with that, having been prepared. I've been teaching virtually online with my school that I work with, as well as doing virtual guest lectures at colleges, as I mentioned. So I was really happy to get started with this. It's been tremendously successful. And what happened was we gave it over the summer. They allowed us to schedule it for just the summer months, which I did. I scheduled a dozen courses during that time. And then in August, they told us now we could start in September through December. So they just kind of quarterly are deciding chunks of time. So we're all set with courses through December. You could find mine online at National Association of Home Builders, NAHB.org. Of course, I'll give you some information before I go today as well about my courses. But honestly, you can go to NAHB.org at any time and you'll see who's giving what courses. It's up to each instructor what they charge. So we all charge different amounts depending on what part of the country we're in, what expenses we have and all that. I have felt that given the situation in the world right now, and so many people are having so many difficulties in terms of jobs and job changes, and looking to try to get their credentialing right now when maybe they have the time, but perhaps they don't have the money. So I've really deeply discounted it throughout this whole time period. So if you look online, you'll see they're suggesting that it's like a $400 course for each day's course. And with it being given online, like I just don't have those kind of expenses, and I'm offering it at a much bigger discount, which I can get you the flyer for afterwards. And I'm also offering anybody who's from this program. I give a discount to the members of the National Association of Home Builders, but I'm happy to give it to members of this organization as well. So I can help you with that if it's something that you're interested in. So we don't know if we're going to be allowed to continue teaching this in the virtual platform after December. The pluses and minuses, if it's back in the classroom, then you definitely get credits from AOTA. But the prices are going to go up. You're going to have to go, sit in the classroom all day, fly to the classroom, do it live in person, have all those expenses involved there, but it should be, again, accredited. So right now, like I said, we're able to deeply discount it, and we probably won't know until December whether it's going to continue in the virtual platform. So I'm happy to answer questions. I feel like that's kind of all the information I have, but I guess I have more information if you ask. You could squeeze it out of me. Go ahead.
Awesome questions. Or awesome overview. So with, when's your next course? Because I know you only have like one left or before the end of the year.
They're continuous. So I just finished CAPS 2 today. Next week, you don't have to take them in order. They want you to take.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
It's better if you could take them in order, but they don't build on each other, but you really do want to take all three of them. So next week on Thursday and Friday, I have CAPS 3. And then the following week's Thanksgiving, I'm taking off, but then starting after that, for the 2 days I have CAPS 1, the following week I have 2 days of CAPS 2. The following week I have 2 days of CAPS 3. So, and then that's it. That's all I have set. I don't have any universal design courses going anymore. So essentially the ones coming up next week will be CAPS 3, 2 days of that, Thursday and Friday. And then after that, it's going to be December 3rd and 4th for CAPS 1, December 10th and 11th for CAPS 2, and December 17th and 18th for CAPS 3. And that's all I have on the schedule right now.
Okay. And is it, when you say you have 2 days of CAPS 3,
Just take one. Yeah,
you just take one a day, but you have
Take a
2.
choice.
Okay. And do you have different times that you offer them during the day?
It's no, it's 8:30 to 4:30 Eastern time, or GMT time, I think we're calling it. Yeah, it's a 6-hour course, but I give 10-minute breaks every hour. I give a half an hour break in the middle of it. And if people are coming from different time zones, I've been extremely flexible. I've had people who have come an hour late. I extended an hour for them. I'll catch them up during lunch. I'll catch them up at the end. I just think it's the wonder of the virtual platform. It's just something I'm able to do for people. So I don't know if you have people who are from different time zones, but I'm really happy. I don't think as far as people teaching this course, I don't think there's anybody else who is working to accommodate those time zones like I am. I'm just really happy to be able to do that for people. And also I think I'm the only OT that is teaching this as well. So it's kind of a nice opportunity if you wanted to learn from an OT.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I realize other professionals can teach it, but I love the fact that you are an OT and teaching this course. Melinda wants to know, is there a hands-on component in the live course?
There's, they have like, in one of the classes, they have an activity where it's not hands-on, but you're just going to go through an activity physically, like simulating somebody with a disability, but that's the only thing that's live, that's you're actually doing hands-on. I mean, in my course, the virtual course, I'm having everybody, you're doing problem solving, you're doing case studies, you're thinking through things. It's all the same as you'd be doing live, and live, you'd be doing it in groups. The way I have people doing it, I have them doing it individually, and then we come together as a group and everybody's able to share their information.
Does you need to do 1, 2, 3 and test to get certified?
You take a test at the end of each course. So you take one at the end of the day, you'll take a test, you'll pass at the CAPS 2, you take a test at the end of the day, pass it. 3, you do the same. There's no more test after that. That's it.
Okay.
Test directly related to what went on in the class that day, and everybody passes it and does well. Okay.
And do you, in order to get the certification, do you have to take all 3 of them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but there is not a time frame. Let me just tell you that, because some people, I think as long as you take it even within a year or 2 years, like they don't have a problem with that. Some people do intend to take all 3 at once, and something comes up, life happens. That's fine. You can take the 3rd one when you have a chance to take it. That's okay.
Okay, good. And then does physical therapy get legit CEUs? What are the CEUs for other disciplines?
You're going to have to check with your American Physical Therapy Association. I don't have the answer to that.
Okay.
Like, honestly, I don't think so, because I think you have much stricter requirements on how you get CEUs. So I think it has to be given by a doctorate. I don't know. You'll have to look at the association.
Okay. What happens if you don't pass, but you just said everyone passes?
Everybody passes. It's an open book test, so everybody passes. You could take as much time. You could take the test twice. You could take as much time as you need to take it. I've never had anybody not do really well on it. It's an open book test, so we cover all the information. Everything in the presentation that I give emphasizes the things that are going to be on the tests, as well as you have the open book component, and you can take it twice. You pass. You learn.
Okay, fabulous. What kind of materials come with the courses?
Just a student guide. That's it. And the wonderful thing about it being virtual is the student guide is now online, so you could download it and you'll always have access to it, which is great. I mean, some people love a paper book, and that's fine. And you could order that for a little bit extra money. You could do both. You always get the downloadable book now with the online course, which is great for free. And if in addition to that, you want a paper book, we can order that for you.
Okay. Lillian said that she took her CAPS, but it was 10 years ago. Is it expired?
That's a really good question. I've had some people ask me that recently, and I've checked with the National Association of Home Builders. So it has more to do with whether two things. I mean, have you It expires if you don't pay for it. So there'll be, you'll have to make that up, and that's going to be, I'm not sure how they do that, if it's just going to be paid for 1 year or any years going back. I don't know. You'd have to check with them, and I could give you the contact who you would contact to get that information. But it doesn't expire. I mean, it doesn't expire in the sense that you have to take them all again. So I'm sure that there'll be a fee involved. One of the courses did change since then. So I don't even know if they will definitely make you take that, but they would probably recommend that you would take that. You haven't taken the CEU, you know, it would, whether you've had CEUs over the years. So the person's name is Crystal Floyd, who would have that information, and I could just give Kara that email, and you could look into that.
Okay, yeah, I can get that to you. So how often do you have to like renew or pay so much for your certification?
It's $83 a year, every year.
Okay.
And every 3 years, there's not an additional fee, but every 3 years, you would have to have done these 12 CEUs in the various different ways that you could do it. And much like with AOTA, you don't have to show anybody, you don't have to submit anything, but you just hold on to it. And if you by chance got audited, you would have that information to share with them.
Okay, great. So Laura, I don't know if you caught that, but so you renew your CAP certification every year, $83 a year. And then Kelly wants to know what the cost is for each class, because I think you can pay each class separately, or if you pay them all at once, is it like a bundled price, or is it not?
Yeah, the thing is that it really, everything depends on the instructor. They give us totally free rein on what we're charging. So, you know, for me, like I said, giving it virtually online, I'm giving a huge discount. So I'll just give you my prices, but you can go to nahb.org and look up who's teaching and where they're teaching, and if it's virtual or if it's live and what they're charging. And please feel free to do that. I'm not offended in any way if you go and look into that. But my course, I'm charging $225 a course. I am giving a discount. That's the full price. I'm giving NAHB members that for $200 a course, which I've told Kara I'll give her people also that same discount. So that'd be $200 a course. But for the 3 courses, if you did take them, I discount that to $575 for members, $650 for non-members. So you would pay $575 for the 3 courses. And like I said, it really tends to be about $300 per course the way other people are giving it. If you look online, I'm pretty sure that's what you're saying. And some people give a discount for multiple courses and some people don't. So it just kind of depends.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great. I mean, $575 for all 3 courses. I mean, that seems like a pretty good deal, because that's 60 CEUs each day, right? So 18, awesome.
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna see those prices again. I'm just
no.
I'm the only one giving them, and I'm not sure I'm gonna be teaching this again after the end of the year. I'm just so busy with some other things. So I'm
right.
being very honest.
Right. Now, you said about your universal design, you don't have one scheduled this year. Do you think you'll do one more again, or?
I don't know. I love teaching it. I really love teaching all the courses, but I mean, certainly it'll depend. First of all, right now I have nothing scheduled for the end of this year. I'm too busy.
Right.
Whether I teach again, you know, next year, it'll depend, first of all, if NAHB allows us to continue it in the virtual format, and you know, if there's really a demand. So I don't know. The demand is so much higher for the CAPS designation. Honestly, I mean, I love for people to take the universal design to continue their education, but it seems like so many people want this CAPS designation. That's where the higher demand was. So that's, I actually gave plenty of both, but we'll see if there's demand. We'll see.
How do you find other universal design courses?
The only one I could tell you about is Universal Design Essentials, one through the National Association of Home Builders. I don't really know about other universal design courses.
Okay. And Elena, hope I'm saying your name right. We have a short webinar on universal design that one of our home mods therapist has done. But I mean, it was, you know, it's just an hour, not like the in-depth universal design. And I know Sue is going to be doing some universal design training within our home mods program, but we can see what else we can find for you. And then, how do you know what courses would count towards those 12 required CEUs? And does it just have to be related to home mods?
They have, you know what, I mean, I could tell you what it is. Yes, they do have to be related to home modifications, but it could also be you're teaching something, you're giving in services for something related to that. It could also be you're volunteering out in the community on that. You could attend an e-learning event. You could, like I said, the NAHB only has that one course really, but there are different organizations that you could belong to that are related to home building or home modifications that they'll give you some credits for doing. Any kind of industry related course or seminar that you're taking through anything really, which you should be able to find, you're going to get some credits for that. If you complete any kind of manufacturer or product training, which you might be interested in doing to learn more about different types of equipment, they're going to count that. They have books and publications. If you find any of those are interested, you're interested in, they'll count towards that. If they give you an award, you get that. I didn't apply for any awards, but maybe you could apply and get one of those. But I really like the community service projects and you giving back to the community and teaching a little bit. So I haven't known people to have trouble over the course of the 3 years. You find ways to get.
Well, yeah. And if this is your business, doing that community service is what you should be doing. I mean, how awesome is that? I love that part. And that's great. Great that they incorporate that into it. So, COTAs, whoops, I don't usually like saying the word COTAs. COTAs or occupational therapy.
OTAs.
Do you have to, or can you take the CAPS? Yes, you can. And you've had anything to say about that?
No, you can take it. You can get this designation. As to what is in your scope of practice, that's up to you to figure out with your license, you know, in terms of your business and all, but you're absolutely qualified to get the designation. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Karen wants to know what your business name is.
Easy Way to Stay.
Okay, and they want to know, how do we sign up and utilize this discount?
Okay, so you could email me at easywaytostay@gmail.com. Should I type it in here? Is that, or do you want to?
Yeah, if you want to type it in, and everyone who's on live on Facebook, who's on the chat, who registered, I'll be sending all of Gail's stuff out to you guys as well, and sharing the email with you to make sure you can get in touch with her as well. So
yeah,
we will get her signed up. So
right, as long as you reference
Next Level, yeah, just say you're from Next Level in there.
Right.
Cara, I've got a couple here. One from Emily. Can you give some examples of how you apply yourself as CAPS, sort of a designated person? Do you go into client's home on consultant, independent contracting, make recommendations on what home mods to make? What other applications are you typically doing with this certification?
Yes, all of those. And I do all of those. And the truth is, I think it really has to do with your business model more than it has to do with the CAPS designation. So really, you know, you create your business model first, you decide what population you're working with, you decide how you're going to be doing that, and then you get the designations that are going to give you the backbone to support you for that. And that's really the way it goes. I mean, people can use this CAPS designation in any way that they want. It's a marketing tool to give you more credibility when you're out there doing what you're doing. But you could really do it with whatever model is right for your business. It's really up to you.
and I was typing in your email to the Facebook, but I mean, because I see so many people just getting all these different certifications, but then they're not doing anything with them. So, you know, we kind of talk about getting your business up and going and focusing on your business, using your skills you have, and then figuring out what certifications you can add to it to help support you versus just kind of going and getting all these different certifications. I mean, is that kind of what you were talking about just there, or?
Yeah, I mean, I certainly see the value in that, but I think also in order to get your business going, you have to be able to market yourself and to have the strongest backbone behind getting yourself started. You want to have credibility. So you don't have any business yet, you don't have any clients yet. How are you going to get that credibility? What I really wanted was something that it gave me organization behind me. It gave some recognition. Like I said, they give you these public relations tools that you're able to use, these marketing tools. I was able to go to presentations and have a PowerPoint behind me. I had no pictures of any work that I'd ever done, but I was able to say, you know, I'm part of the National Association of Home Builders, and this is what we do. I had PowerPoint with my name on it and their name on it, and you know, their pictures, but my information. And I was gradually able to get rid of their information and add in more of my information. So you want to market yourself regardless. I mean, whether you have credentials or whether you don't have any credentials, and they give you so many tools to help you with that marketing, that there's value there. So like I said, there's just a lot of bang for the buck. I also agree, you don't want to go out and get 12,000 credentials before you're actually working in the business. I totally agree with that. But you're going to be doing marketing anyway. So finding this organization, which has all of this marketing and all of this credibility and all these contacts that you can make, it just has a lot of value.
I did actually what you did. I went and did my CAPS as I was starting up my business, but I noticed it's very easy to get in that trap then to keep going. Well, I need more, I need more, I need more. And you feel like you're doing something and busy work by doing that instead of actually going out there and doing. Which I think, you know, it is that mix of doing that. I did find it does give me a little bit of recognition and clout, particularly when I'm talking to a builder or some of those things. But again, depending on your market as well, it may or may not be well understood, you know. I see some of it when I'm working with case managers with Medicare, but in fact, they're seeing more of, I need an occupational therapist. So, you know, and again, I think that balance is there as well.
Right. And if you're the occupational therapist who's also CAPS designated, then win-win. I mean, I've just found, I mean, I've had people come and take my course because they've met with geriatric case managers who said, I don't want to hire you unless you're a CAPS designee. Did they really know what a CAPS designee was? No, really didn't know, but they'd heard it. It was something that they'd heard at a meeting, at whatever. And they wanted, I mean, literally, I had somebody come to me that said, you know, I don't really see why I need this. He was in the business for a number of years. He really had a lot of good experience. I might not have really been teaching him anything that he didn't already know, although, you know, he appreciated learning it, but he literally couldn't have gotten his foot in that door, that particular door, without telling the geriatric case manager he was a CAPS designee. So,
yeah.
Awesome. We have more questions. Does Medicare pay for these modifications? Sue, you want to take that one?
That's a Sue question.
Hang on one second. So the answer to that question is no, straight original Medicare does not. When President Trump signed the Chronic Care Act into place in 2017, 2018, there were changes that come to play in the Medicare Advantage plans. And as of January the 1st, they now have flexibility to add in some of the modifications, such as ramps, such as grab bars, such as some of those things. The problem is they started adding some of those in and COVID hit. So we're not entirely sure. The other thing that came into play with that was the flexibility to add in what they wanted. So each plan payer and each state has the ability to offer different things in their plans. We need to go and advocate to those Medicare Advantage plans to actually put the wording that's in the law, which includes ramps, grab bars, and other home modifications. We need to put pressure on them to actually add those in and to cover them. And that's where we need to start talking at that level. Now, coming back to Medicaid, Medicaid will cover some of the things we recommend again. They're more likely to than Medicare. But where we have the big market right now is with Medicare patients who qualify for Medicaid waivers. And the Medicaid waivers, some under the CARES Act, for clients now with the new COVID emergency funding, some under some of the demonstration programs and looking at costing, some under the Medicare changes that started coming about in 2016 to try and keep more people out of institutions and in the community. So this is where it's really important to know what's happening in your state, to know what's happening in your community, and working with some of your geriatric case managers, some of your area agency on aging case managers, some of your DSHS case managers, and your developmental disabilities case managers, because that's where the funding is to actually have the modifications done. There is some funding under some people's long-term care insurance. All right, so I actually have clients now who are applying for funding under that and funding under the VA. So we go through some of all of that when we go through the funding.
Awesome. I'm seeing what other questions did you ask this one? Sue, can you give me an example of what you teach, i.e. one room, etc.? Okay. I'm trying to manage next level too. I think I've caught up with all of the current questions.
Yeah, so this was from Rhonda and it's a little vague. It says, can you give me an example of what you teach that is like in one room or something? I think they're wanting to know, Rhonda, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems to me they're wanting to know about some of the specific information related to some of the modifications that are covered, or suggestions or recommendations.
What, for me? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Rhonda,
Go ahead.
talk live, you sure can. We can unmute you. I know webinars are set up weird, so let me know or type it in the chat section. So yeah, talk about what you teach about a room, I guess.
What I teach about a room. Okay, I'm not totally clear, but with each of the courses, I mean, for the CAPS 2 design concepts for livable homes, I mean, we talk about, I mean, mainly most things are kitchen and bathroom modifications. So there is definitely a strong emphasis of that, but there's definitely equipment specialist information in terms of elevators and platform lifts, ramps, a little bit of everything.
Okay, awesome. Someone else just asked a question. Are you able to live off what you make from your home mods business, or do you rely on your school job to supplement your income?
That's a very good question. My day job is my school job. That's where I've been for forever and ever and ever. It's a part-time job, but that's been what I've done forever. And then I started the home modifications business. So for me, it's on the side and I keep it on the side. Whether you could make it bigger than that would really be up to you. For me, that was never an interest. When I went into it a number of years ago, it was with the idea of this would be a wonderful thing I could do for the rest of my life. And I could do more or less of it as much as I want. So, that's sort of the way I've been doing it, very part-time for me.
I'm full-time in doing it. So yes, you can, but I am willing to say, this patient needs a wheelchair evaluation and I'm skilled in doing that and picking up some of the training with caregivers and stuff like that afterwards. So, that kind of helps with that. But yeah, I'm full-time. In fact, I could absolutely do more.
Yeah, I'm trying to get Sue to hire more people because she's super busy, as she is. What about payment through the AARP Medicare supplement, which is not a Medicare Advantage plan?
So supplements generally follow the Medicare rules and generally not. They cover the co-payments and stuff that are designated coverage from the Medicare. But I think we're going to see some of that changing because of some of the competition from the Medicare Part C plans. So I think what you're going to start seeing is the supplements start adding in some more of the benefits to keep their market share alive. So that will be interesting to see as we go. And Brianna, I live in Washington State. And on that score, I need to duck out of here and go see my next patient. So thank you, everyone, for attending.
Good to see you.
And I just have to say, I'm going to answer Elena's question.
I was just going to say, that's just for you too.
I have seen anywhere from 5-year-olds to 105-year-olds in my practice. I have contracts with developmental disabilities. Interestingly, most of my clients with developmental disabilities range between 25 and 40, and I'm working with aging parents in the 60 to 70 year age group. But I have seen clients as young as 5 that I've been doing home mods for, particularly like autistic children with anger and aggression, cerebral palsy children, things like that. So yes, it's obviously, and we've added developmental disabilities as one of the extra interest programs in our home mods program for that reason. Kara and Gail, it's all yours. You guys have it. Bye.
See you later.
Sue.
And Sue, I mean, Gail, since you work with pediatrics, do you do home mods for pediatrics too, or?
It hasn't really come up very much at all, but I do teach it in the CAPS course. We do, especially in CAPS 3, Details and Solutions for Livable Homes. There's actually a section specifically about a child with sensory impairment and modifying the sensory environment. I mean, I've definitely made recommendations, home recommendations to families that I've worked with, but I have not seen the call to come in and do that. But
Okay.
it is a field. I mean, it definitely is. It's an
Yeah, Sue did a webinar on home mods, not just for older adults, covering all ages, because yeah, she does do a lot with younger kids, and she's finding that as those kids age, their caregivers are aging, and they're not able to just do what they could do before, you know, like when maybe they were just lifting them from place to place. So she's found that to be a huge area of need in her area. So, which I think is going to be everywhere. I mean, you know, it's really in tapping into this different areas. Do home mods experts ever become involved in litigation after personal injury cases, providing recommendations that will be taken into account for settlement?
I would say absolutely yes. I don't do that, but you could definitely market yourself to do that. You could market yourself with attorneys as an expert, you know, build your business a bit, get some experience with that, talk to special needs attorneys. And I think it's definitely a niche. I mean, I do know people who have done that with that have been called in with like motor vehicle accidents, disabilities. So yeah, I think it's a definite niche you could try.
Yeah, and I know Sue's done a few with that. In fact, where her office is, she has some attorneys next to her that have they've kind of collaborated on some of that stuff. So she would be a good one to talk a little bit more about that. Nicole, if you want to personally message her, she can probably help you out with that too. So, okay, well, you guys, seriously, I mean, to get CAPS 1, 2, 3, for $575, that's a pretty awesome deal. I think, you know, having Gail, an occupational therapist, teaching this course is pretty awesome as well. And to have it virtually, because I know I haven't taken it yet, but before I started my home-based business, it was one course I wanted to take, but I would have had to fly or drive a long ways and I couldn't do it. So once it started to go virtually, I definitely wanted to jump on board, but yeah, life is hectic and so many things going on right now. I can't keep up, but definitely a great option out there for you guys. So we'll send all the information out. If you have any other questions, please reach out and we'll try to find those answers for you. So
I just wanted to say, I saw somebody say, oh, it's too bad it's weekdays. I just want you to know that's actually the only way they're allowing us to teach it virtually. And I think it's because their people in National are only available weekdays and they need to do some of the tech end of it. I guess, I'm not exactly sure, but literally nobody is allowed to be teaching it on weekends at this time virtually. So again.
Well, and I like it though, that you could do like CAPS 1 one day a week and then CAPS 2 another day. So it's not like it's taken 3 days up in a week, which allows you to schedule around it. At least, you know, that's helpful in my life. So, and I don't want to be doing things on weekends because I want to try to focus on family. So got to look at that too. So
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you, Gail. I know you're super busy.
Yeah.
Appreciate your time. And thank you everyone who jumped on live. So make sure when you register, you put that you're next level OT member to get that extra discount that Gail is graciously offering all of you. So have a fabulous night. We'll talk to you all later.
Thanks so much.
Thanks. Bye-bye.